Guys, you can lift all the weights you want. You can deadlift 200 kg for all I care. But if your diet is trash, you will never build muscle, and that's the sad reality. I remember I used to go to the gym, and I used to eat a lot of unhealthy food. And weirdly enough, I say this, okay, bro, what the fuck? Why are there always ladybirds in my room, bruv? Get the hell out of here, you measly, lovely, amazing. Thank you, God, for your creatures. I'm not gonna edit that out. All right, so guys, you can build all the muscle you want, but if your diet, you can try to anyway. But if your diet is trash, there's literally it's pointless. So what's the best building? Ask yourself this question: what is the best muscle building diet? You probably think you know, right? Well, here I will literally be breaking down the best diet today on how you can build the best muscles with the best diet. So please just stick around and just listen. Please just listen. Get rid of that egotistical mind. Stop scrolling on the comments. Stop scrolling on Instagram. Just lock in and listen to today's video. So, definitely, I think what's very important is that you need to obviously know what you're looking for. So, whether it's gaining size, whether it's strength and staying lean, you got to know what diet you need to eat and how much proportion. That's all relative to what you want to gain. But I want you to definitely stick around because I will be revealing the biggest mistakes that could be stopping you from building muscle. So with no further ado, let's just get straight into it. So firstly, I do want to say that you must be in a calorie surplus if you are trying to build muscle. So obviously you have calorie deficit, which means you shred. You're shredding, so you're basically eating less calories than you would put on in a day. But in this circumstance, you must be in a caloric surplus. If you're not eating enough, you won't grow. It's that simple. Aim for 250 to 500 extra calories per day to gain lean muscle and without too much fat. Secondly, protein is king. I always mention this to you. I always tell you protein is the most important thing. And if it hasn't been like literally been hammered into your thick skull brain, then I'm hammering it into your thick skull brain right now. Protein is king. And if you didn't know this, you know it now. Protein is king. Say it to yourself right now. Tell yourself right now, protein is king. Protein is king. Protein is king. Muscle growth only depends on protein intake, so you should aim for 0.8 to 1.2 grams of protein per pound of body weight. So if you weigh 160 pounds, you should be aiming for 160 160 grams of protein. That is roughly a medium-sized whole chicken. So you do the maths, however you want to, categorize that. If you pretty much should just be eating a medium whole chicken every single day, or like a small chicken. I think it's a medium whole chicken, probably a large chicken. 160 grams a day of protein is what you should be aiming for every single day if you weigh 160 pounds. You do the portions. I don't know. Some of you could be 100 pounds. Some of you could be 260 pounds. I don't know how much you weigh. I weigh roughly. I weigh about 170 maybe pounds. I weigh about 170 pounds. So I eat about a whole chicken every single day of protein. Okay, so the best protein sources are lean meats, so chicken, turkey, and also lean beef, which I think chicken is phenomenal. Lean beef is amazing. And also eggs, which are actually one of the best muscle building foods. So if you pair eggs and chicken in the morning, that's absolutely amazing. Pardon me. And fish also. So if you're a fish type of person, salmon, tuna for protein, and also omega 3s as well. And Greek yogurt is an amazing protein source as well. And you can also eat cottage cheese, and these are high in protein and slow digesting. And finally, plant-based options as well. So for the people that are vegetarians or vegan, tofu, lentils, chickpeas, quinoa, all of that good stuff. So moving on to carbs. So carbs actually fuel your muscle. So carbs are not the enemy. I usually do say like cut down on the carbs. They're not the enemy. You just need them to fuel workouts and recover properly. So the actual best carb sources are usually rice, white or brown. I wouldn't personally recommend rice. I would even recommend, I'm not gonna lie, I personally wouldn't even recommend eating too much rice, because a lot of you will say, oh yeah, rice, and then you'll go put like a whole plate of rice, and then that's it. You've literally just lost all your gains. So if you're portioning rice, especially rice, brown rice or white, just make sure it's small portions. Don't like overdo it. And also oats. So this is a good carb source. Oats, they are great for slow digesting carb for energy. It's actually it's really good at releasing, slow energy. Usually I eat oats in the morning and I just want to go straight back into bed. So be careful with oats, not to eat too much of it. Try adding some berries, instead of using like white sugar or brown sugar, try using honey as well. That's something I utilize myself personally. Sweet potatoes, so especially for your lunch or dinner, you can have sweet potatoes. I would say sweet potatoes instead of rice, probably way better and more nutritional. Up to you, and it's actually packed with nutrients and sustained energy. Also, whole grain breads and pastas. I would say pasta, especially whole grain pasta, is phenomenal. Just don't eat too much. It's just like rice. You don't want to eat too much of it. It can make you tired. You can lose all those gains. And, as much as it gives you energy, it can also actually take from your energy. So, actually, pastas, whole grains in general, actually tend to have a lot of complex carbs for long lasting energy. But like I said, if you're eating too much of it, you just end up being tired. I don't know if you've ever had like a whole plate of pasta. You just feel tired. You just want to sit back and relax. And same thing for rice, same thing for bread. If you eat too much of these things, you'll be tired. But if you have a small amount, you actually have more energy. It's a bit of a weird thing, because usually when you eat these things, you just want to eat more and more of it until you're full up. And then when you're full up, you're tired. So that's why I just avoid carbs in general, because anytime I even have a small amount, I'm just tired anyway. It's a bit weird how it works with me. And finally, fruits are an amazing carb, obviously. Bananas, apples, berries, cherries, all types of fruits. You know, I don't know what your fruit is. I like mangoes, apples, bananas. I like strawberries. I like raspberries, pomegranate. There's so many fruits out there. Find your fruits that you like and stick to it, and just implement that every single day. These are great for micronutrients and also fast energy. You probably know that already. So just moving on to the last part, and I think is the most important part, is definitely fats for hormonal health. So healthy fats actually boost your testosterone, which is very important for men, and also they help you to absorb the vitamins that you get from all the other things that you're eating. So the best fat sources, and you probably know me from this, is avocados. Definitely one of the best fat sources out there. Avocados, if you could eat one a day, absolutely phenomenal, nutrient dense and great for recovery. Also nuts and seeds, so things like chia seeds are great for guys. Also peanuts, almonds, walnuts, pecans. These are all great nuts that have so many like benefits for your heart, your blood, so many other things. But then they also contain protein as well, which is good for building muscle. At the end of the day, all these things that I'm mentioning in this video will help you to build muscle. So if you can stick to like a good diet containing most of these things that I've mentioned, then you're on the fast track, or you're well on your way to actually building muscle. Next on my list of best sources for fats for hormonal health is also olive oil and coconut oil. So if you've been watching my videos previously, you would know that olive oil and coconut oil are two of the main things that you can use in your cooking, sprinkling over your salads. Just in general, just always be using these instead of like sunflower oil and vegetable oil, or any seed oils. Any seed oils, stop using them and just replace them with avocado oil and olive oil. You probably know this already, and these are actually better for cooking than seed oils. And finally, fatty fish. So obviously I did mention a lot of fatty fishes that are high, fatty fish, just fish in general, are just high in omega 3s, and they actually contain a lot of healthy fats for your hormonal health. So just to let you know, The best diets for muscle growth, and I think this is probably an important part, so you wouldn't want to miss this part. So to have the balanced, high protein diet, especially that is best for beginners, I think is so important. One, to make sure that you stick to 40% carbs, 30% protein, and 30% fats. So eat lean meats, eat whole carbs, and healthy fats with literally every single meal. And this works for most body types and is easy to adjust. So I think it's very imperative that you follow a structure similar to that. And if you're going for like, a clean bulk diet, if you're trying to bulk, this is actually best for lean gains. So you want to actually focus on the nutrient dense foods. So no junk, no processed foods. Obviously, literally no junk, no processed foods. 300 to 500 surplus calorie. So this just means you're eating more, or you're consuming more calories than you're actually burning every single day. So if you're burning 3,000 calories, include like literally everything. If like there's this thing on your phone called like Cow AI. There's also like this thing called Health on your phone. If you use an iPhone, yeah, it literally shows you your how much calories you're burning if you've got it all connected. Ideal for staying lean while growing muscle, and this is fantastic, especially for those people that want a clean bulk. As I mentioned in several videos, I would if you want to bulk, it would always be best to bulk clean. So if you are focused on becoming more like an athlete and you want a lot of carbs because you need a lot of energy throughout the day, and if you struggle to gain weight, you need more calories and carbs. So how do you do this? 50 to 60% carbs, 25 to 30% protein, and 15 to 20% fats. So still in the like 50%, proteins and fats, and then also 50% carbs. So you want to eat more rice, more pasta, more potatoes, and fruits to stay in a surplus. Perfect for people that have a fast metabolism, and also people that are doing a lot of intense training. And finally, I think the one that I use myself personally is the keto diet. Here and there, I have a fast metabolism as well. That's the reason I eat a lot of these. Like, I'm not really a carby person, but I can be very carby. So carby. And I think definitely if you are trying to lose fat, or if you are trying to lose, just like if you're fat and you're trying to lose fat and also build your muscle after losing the fat, I think it's very important that you eat a lot of high healthy fats, moderate protein, and very low carbs. So you wanna make sure that you're just essentially just cutting phase, but it is quite hard to build muscle because obviously you're losing that fat. But it works best for those people who prefer low carb eating. So these are the biggest mistakes. So if you've stuck around to this part of the video, this is actually the biggest mistakes that a lot of people that are actually building muscle tend to do or fall into the category of. So I think not eating enough. I think a lot of people think, oh, if I'm fat, I need to stop eating as much. Guys, that is good and bad. It's only good if you know what you're doing, and if you're like doing intermittent fasting, or there's so many other different types of fastings out there. But if you're not doing it properly, then it's not going to be beneficial. So if you're not gaining weight, you are not eating enough, period. So you want to make sure you track your calories and protein to ensure you are in a surplus and actually eating more than you should, essentially. But you don't want to rely on guesswork, so you kind of need to know what you're eating. I I would say this is very difficult, especially like planning your meals and stuff like that. It can become a lot more tedious, but if you really want to improve your health to the next level, this is very important. And also I think it's very important that you, especially for building, you just want to make sure that you don't start eating trash food, because the more trash you put into your temple, the more trash you put into your system, the harder it's going to be to discipline yourself to stop eating these things. I think reward yourself after you've hit like a certain milestone, and only reward yourself within like reason. Don't like go crazy and start eating like 2 tubs of ice cream and just so much rubbish. Just treat yourself with still like a healthy thing. So what I tend to do is usually I'd have like a dessert with a relatively healthy meal, but I'd have like a dessert on the weekend. So it could just be like an apple crumble, which is like, and I'll just have like a slice, and then I'll try not to eat it again. Or like mostly just sweet things for me personally, or like I would have like a juice. So like the juice you kind of see me drinking, but it's like still relatively healthy. It's like my way of like, instead of, because I used to like fizzy drinks and stuff like that, instead of drinking fizzy drinks, I just replaced it with something that I knew it contained healthier parts inside of it. So this is a lot easier for you to manage, especially those times where you really crave something sweet. I think it's very imperative to clutch that desire by just having something inbound, because you don't want to stress yourself out. Usually a lot of stress, some people gain fat just from stressing, so you don't want to be in that situation. I think if you are serious about building muscle, you need to eat high protein, high calorie, and definitely nutrient dense foods. Definitely get into the habit of cooking your own meals. And I would also personally recommend the balanced high protein or also clean bulk diet for most people. um, and I also want to know from you guys in the comments, which diet do you follow? Because I think it's very important to know different people's like diets. So drop a comment down below what type of diet you have. And finally, I just wanted to say, if you found this video helpful, definitely, you don't have to do this. Hit the like button and subscribe for more. You don't have to subscribe. It's just if you want to. You know what? Don't subscribe. You don't even need to subscribe. And definitely, I'll be speaking more on like building muscle diets that help to build muscle, because I think it's very important. Mind me for all the like the talking this video where I just stumbled on my words, or I hiccuped, or sometimes I know I'm not looking at you guys. I'm like reading my notes. I want to make sure you get like proper information. I don't want it to just be all brain work and stuff like that. So let me know if you guys like me giving you the notes, if you like the presentation I'm giving with the notes, or if you guys in the future would like, even more information, maybe with like a whiteboard, etc., etc. Hope you guys enjoyed. Take care. We out.